AC/DC, a little rock, a little AC/DC rock there, rocking and rolling with the AC. Yeah, because it is. I think it is falling over a little bit. I can fix that. Yeah, that's cute. Thank you. What? Is it hot right now? Is it gonna be hot coffee in the house? What? What? Hold on, man. I got me a little surprise right here. Hold on. Hmm? Oh my God! Look at this. One, two, three. Three roaches. Smell air. Sweet sauce. With the good stuff. Warmer than what it was, for sure. Thank you, baby. That's funny. I need one of those too. I need a paper towel. I need a paper towel. I need a paper towel. We all need paper towels. Everyone's got a paper towel. We all got paper towels. Everyone's got a paper towel. We get the paper towel. We get the paper towel. We get the paper towel. There's actually four. Four little bastards. Four roaches. I got them. I'm the man. I take care of that. That's my job. That's my job. Johnny, my Johnny. That's my Johnny. That would be cool. So we always be where each other. We can always find each other. Yeah, that'd be cool. I like that. Yes, I've heard of that. You could just turn it on your Google map or something. Mm. Mm. What are we doing? Is anybody talking? Because if you guys aren't going to talk to me, man, you're not. Why aren't you? Is there something wrong with the chat? You guys, what's going on? Hello? Hello? Anybody here? Grant, hey there. What? Hey, Karen. TC Dub said cheers a few minutes ago. That was almost 20 minutes ago, but Steve, Karen, Nick. Hey, Nick. Okay, cool. We got some people here. Cool. We got some people in the house. We got some people in the house. Hey, yo, look at this. I was just trying to play AC/DC. You should have heard it. Low sound. You guys got low sound over there? Yeah, it looks like it might be a little low. I could turn it up a little bit. Hello, hello, hello. Check. That's about as loud as I want to get. Check. I don't want to distort. I don't want to distort it. Taco Man 21, what's up, buddy? Young Sun 708. Okay, cool. We're rocking out a little bit. Coffee's growling like a dog. He's an angry little coffee pot. I thought it was Rogan. I did. I looked out. I saw Rogan was under the table. It's so bitter. Good morning. So at least Bitter said hello to me in the chat on Rumble. What's going on with Rumble? Anybody? Tell me like there's a problem over there or something, or I've only got 3 thumbs ups. That says it all. Just got notifications. Rumble there is a problem with Rumble, guys. What happened on Rumble? There it is. Still nobody's talking over there. It says I've only got 3 thumbs ups. Come on, people. What's up with that, man? You guys want the link to the Rumble? In the YouTube? Here. Come on over to Rumble, everybody. Come to Rumble and tell me why it's not working. I wonder how ETFs are selling, the Bitcoin ETFs. Yo, do a dab, Brad. I want to get my coffee hot and put some sweetener in it. Give me a second, and I'll be right back. here we are. Here we are. What are we doing? Hey, we giving the dog a pill. Marty actually loaded up. Hey, Nick. Okay, good. Okay, great. So you guys are in Rumble. Fantastic. That's the way I like that to be. Thank you very much. Hey, Clara Sue. Can I get an update from you, please? Do you still follow Grandpa, WH Grandpa? I wanted to ask you a question about that. That's so funny. I was just thinking, I was like, hey, if Clara Sue pops in sometime, I'll ask her. I was thinking that today. And there you are. It's so coincidental because you don't come in that often. Do we buy Bitcoin at this price? Yes, we buy Bitcoin at every price. Yes, we do. It might go down to 30, but it's okay. I was buying at 45, bro. I don't mind. You buy at any price, bro. Anytime you want to buy Bitcoin, just buy it. You know why? Because your money will be worth more money than it is wherever else your money is sitting. You're going to make more money off of that Bitcoin. That's why it's good to buy Bitcoin at any time. As long as you don't take it out when Bitcoin's value drops, you know, don't take it out. You leave the money in. Make sure you go way up. You pay for the fees, you know. Tell me cuando. Fix. Turn on device. Oh. Clara Sue, you're not going to answer me. Are you not going to answer me? It was like a really quick question. Do you still follow that guy or not? Does anyone on here follow WH Grandpa on Truth Social? Let me know. I only had one question. He said he was going to have this big event, you know, and he was going to reveal who he was and blah, 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 blah before the end of the year. Yeah, did that ever happen, I wonder? Y'all know who he is now? I don't know, Clara Sue just disappeared. She does that sometimes. I never know what's going on the other side of those computer screens. Until now. Now I can see. Now I see. Now do you see? Do you see the pain? Do you see the pain and the pleasure that I give you? Welcome to hell. How Pinhead got his nails is one of the greatest videos of all time. Each one of them. Bink, bink, bink. Ah! Ah! Bink, 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 bink. Ah! Clara Sue, are you not going to answer me? I'm asking you if you still follow WH Grandpa. If he ever revealed himself. She's not answering me. She's acting like I'm not here. I love that. What I said, does my sound not, can you not hear me, guys? Is the sound okay? Which microphone am I using? I'm using... Oh, yeah, I'm using that mic. Hello, wanna see me? Really? During... Okay. Roger that, copy that. Claire Sue, why do you act like you can't hear me when I ask you questions? I've asked you like a million times and you still haven't answered me. You act so weird. Why do you act so weird? Was it the comment I made about being able to see you on the other side of the monitor? Did that make you worried? Now I can see you. Clara Sue, you're probably behind. I'm asking you if you still follow WH Grandpa and if he ever revealed who he was. That's all I wanted to know. You're in the Matrix.
Isn't that beautiful?
Mm-hmm.
You can take these if you want.
What?
You can have them.
Thank you. All right, everybody. What do you mean, good one? I don't get it. Did you get kicked out of their little group or something? Like I did? Cheers, everyone. Cheers, hon. Cheers. No law regarding cannabis. Nick, you're going to have to respond to Clara Sue in the chat because she obviously can't pay attention to what I'm saying. So go ahead and just chat it up to her, bro. Just ask her the question. Do you still follow WH Grandpa, and did he ever reveal his true identity to his followers? It's really simple. But Nick, please go ahead and type it in if you're not driving down the road, you know. Oh, Rumble keeps kicking Clara Sue out, she says. Oh, okay. I understand. I think when people say they're getting kicked off of social media, sometimes it has something to do with their connection to the internet, that they might not have a good connection from wherever they are. Maybe they're standing far away from their router, or they're on cell phone and they're not near a cell phone tower, or they're using cell and they're inside a house and they're not near a window. And they don't realize that they're on cell, and that signal comes from outside your home, you know? So you got Wi-Fi on, or do you got cell on? You need to determine that, and then you have to act accordingly depending on, you know, if you're using a phone. Thank you, Nick. Wow, that wasn't that hard. Thank you, buddy. That's amazing. Mind blown. Communications. It's amazing. It's like the old days, bro. Yeah, right. Because he never revealed it. He was lying to his audience, is my point. He was never going to tell you who he was. He strings them along and strings them along, and he's going to keep doing it. And they keep forgetting because they're Q followers. So that's the only way you can get Q people to keep following you is that they forget all the past things that you promised them that were going to happen on these certain dates that never happened. And as long as they keep forgetting that shit, you can keep Tron and on them along, you know? Tron and on and on and on and on and on and on. Oh boy, it's called Tron Anon. And on and on and on and on and on. It's so funny. He strings you along and on and on and on and on. That is the recipe, bro. That's what works, man. For a certain large group of people, it works on, obviously. Clara Sue said, no wonder Nate's frustrated if he can't see his chat. The fuck are you talking about? The chat is in my face on screen, which I'm looking at right now. You can see on this camera that I'm looking at the screen that's got all of your chat right. Look, Clara Sue won. Well, Guitar Man, happy days ahead. I see all the chat, Clara Sue. I don't understand who I'm talking to over there, guys. It's so confusing. I never said I was frustrated that I can't see the chat. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm frustrated that you're ignoring my questions. And you act like, I don't know. I don't know how you don't hear what I'm saying to you. Is the mic not on? Hello, check. 1, 2, 3. Can you hear me? Test. Wandering Eyes, what's up? Okay. That was a massive reaction to that inverse head and shoulders. Let's see if it forms another inverse head and shoulders and returns to its upward climb. Hey, Clara Sue. You've been kicked out 3 times? You might, I don't know, it might be that if you're on a cell phone, it might be where you're sitting in your house, Clara Sue. It just depends on your connection, man. Are you on Wi-Fi or are you on cell phone? And if you're on Wi-Fi, you got to get closer to your router. You know? Are you on another side of a wall from your router? Or are you using cell phone? And if so, are you far away from a window? Are you in the middle of your house? Somewhere where there's no exposure to the waves coming from the freaking cell phone towers? You like my song? Marty, WHG works for Badlands Media. Apparently, he scouts talent. Yeah, he still hasn't told anybody who he is yet, though, right? I mean, telling people that he does something, whatever, still doesn't expose who he is. Right? He's just lied to people. He had no intention of telling anybody who he was. Florida removes sociology as a core course option for public colleges. Yes, you heard that correct. I'll say it again. Florida removes sociology as core course option for public colleges. They remove it. It's like, yeah, we don't think that should be an option. No, sociology isn't important. Okay, Google. Define sociology.
According to Wikipedia, sociology is the scientific and systematic study of human society that focuses on society, human social behavior, patterns of social relationships, social interaction, and aspects of culture associated with everyday life.
Can't be talking about stuff that talks about systemic racism built into the system, can we? You know, you're going to call it critical race theory when it's really facts. Critical race theory, my ass, that word needs to go away. They're just spitting facts that you don't want to hear, and you want your children to grow up dumber than you. You're welcome, everyone. You're welcome. There's a scary thought. Children even dumber than the previous generation. Whatever religion Elon Musk is following, he claims that's why we need more humans in space. He's such an idiot. God, he's an idiot. Hey, I got news for Elon Musk and everyone else. Are you ready? Here it is. It's okay if all of humanity goes extinct. It's okay. It's perfectly fine. It's the end of the world, and that's just fine. The end of our world, as we know it. And that's fine. That's okay. You know, you don't have to try to preserve humanity. It doesn't mean dick. It doesn't mean anything. You're not doing it. All right? You're not going to do it. You're not going to achieve it. You're not going to prolong humanity any longer than what our habitat will allow us to consume while we're here on this planet. There's nothing else anywhere else. No, putting us somewhere else isn't going to fix it or slow it down or change it. Elon's an idiot. He is an idiot. I told you guys. It's like he literally believes this shit. You know, I just saw the article. It says right here, Elon Musk says his religion is one of curiosity, and it's why he believes we need more humans in space. From Fortune magazine, guys. I'm not even going to click on it. UN court. This is big. UN court acknowledges genocide risk in Gaza, dealing historic blow to Israel and the United States. Look, risk? Fuck you. What do you mean? Who wrote that? Huffington Post. What do you mean risk? Genocide is already happening. I mean, what are you denying genocide is happening? Holy shit, man. There's an article in today's paper. You know, I wonder if my mom read it. The Israelis killed like 21 people in a cul-de-sac. They just mowed them down with machine guns. They were there getting food. They were in a food line. Did you guys hear about that? Let me go get the paper. Get the paper. I think that's important that you guys know about this shit. Free Palestine. Hashtag Free Palestine. You know, you gotta love this. So number one, this comes in on page 11 of the Orlando Sentinel. Page 11. That's what that is right there. That's an 11. That right there is an 11. Right? That's page 11, right? The article appears right here. Now, what appeared before that article, you know, some stupid fucking murderer has been found competent for trial. Who fucking cares? Student at the college I went to is facing charges. Okay, fucking researcher spent years with blue spring manatees. Wow, really? That's more important? Okay. U.S. economy's resiliency bolstered by gains. Wow, really? And Lake Nona developer pleads guilty to insider trading. All of that and so much more appears way before you even get to this article, which is buried in the back of the Nation World section, right? Like I said, page 11, and where they talk about, you know, they want to talk about Japan's precision lunar lander is likely inverted, and then you finally get to this. Are you ready? Okay, this is going to be a good one, guys. What it says is, it says, Israeli soldiers shot at crowd waiting for aid, witnesses say. That doesn't sound like it's that big of a deal. Oh, they shot at the crowd. It doesn't seem like that big of a deal, does it? No, I mean, look at, once again, they hit it on page 11, and then they gave it this piddly little headline. It says, Israeli soldiers, it does say Israeli, it does say Israeli soldiers, shot at crowd. Huh, they shot at the crowd. No big deal, right? Here, are you guys ready? Here. Rafah, Gaza Strip. Gaza's health ministry and witnesses said Israeli troops opened fire as a crowd of Palestinians gathered for humanitarian aid in Gaza City on Thursday, killing at least 20 and wounding dozens. Now, you guys remember what happened 2 days ago? You guys remember what happened 2 days ago? 21 Israeli soldiers were killed in a single day, you know, in Gaza, right? It made the headlines. And now all of a sudden, isn't it interesting that within a day that a bunch of people getting food in a food line are mowed down? Oh, you don't... Oh, are you questioning the Orlando Sentinel, Marty? You're questioning the Orlando Sentinel? Because I got news for you, dude. It's the Associated Press, bro. Okay? It's just reprinted by the Orlando Sentinel. You see that? It's the AP. That's how you know the information in this newspaper is sincere and real. Because this newspaper gets its news from a larger agency that does that, and their reputation depends on it. That's how that works. You understand it, Marty? You understand what I'm saying? What? Well, the Orlando Sentinel wasn't good enough for you. Now the AP is not good enough for you. So you want me to go pull it up on another? Who's good enough for you? You want me to pull the article up somewhere else? You name your favorite news source. Who do you want it from? Fox News? Let me know. Where do you want to hear about 20 Gazans mowed down by Israelis that you don't believe this? You didn't even let me read you the fucking article. The Orlando Sentinel? It's got its faults, just like every other news source does. They all have their own narrative. You have to be able to understand that you're able. No, it's not going to pull up from the same article. You get different reporting, bro. When 20 people get killed in Gaza, it's not just going to come from one news agency, dude. Are you fucking kidding me? Marty, is that really what you think? Why don't you go research it? Why don't you're questioning me, okay? Now the onus is on you. Go ahead and look it up on Google and you let me know how many different sources you find this information from. Let me know when you find one you trust, okay? In the meantime, I'll keep reading the article to my audience. Thanks for, engaging me in conversation. I appreciate you, bro. So, once again, I'll repeat. Clara Sue, once again, you pile on, you think you know what Marty's saying, you don't know what Marty's saying, and you're just acting like an idiot like you normally do. Don't fucking tell me I'm smarter than reporters and shit, all right? I don't need to hear that from some dunce like you, Clara Sue. All right, don't fucking try to engage me in conversation, ever. You make no sense. You don't get to fucking preach at me. You don't get to tell me anything. Understand that, Clara Sue. You have no validity with anything that you ever say to me, ever. Now, I'm going to return. I'm sure Marty appreciates you fucking standing up for him, though. There you go, Marty. You got a new friend, Clara Sue. Like I said, hopefully Marty is going and finding this on 100 other fucking news sources. I'm sure he is. So, once again, I just want to put the emphasis on this. They killed at least 20. It says at least 20. They wounded dozens. Why does it say Israeli soldiers shot at crowd? Why doesn't it say Israeli soldiers murdered 20 and wounded dozens in the headline? Because they're running, the Orlando Sentinel is running cover for Israel. That's how you know that this is basically true. That's how you know that you can trust this. They bury it on fucking page 11. They put it at the bottom and they misrepresent the content with this stupid headline. They shot at a crowd. They shot at a crowd. No, they murdered 20 people and they wounded dozens. How many bullets were fired? Thank you, Nate. It had to be said. You're welcome, Marty. No, because you don't get to talk to me. You don't get to fucking tell me shit. Clara Sue, you don't fucking talk to people. You talk at them. You always pontificate. You're always fucking dictating shit. You're always telling me what's up. You don't know what's up. You're a fucking idiot. You're a dunce. You're a moron. And you can sit there in all caps and say fake news all you want. You just show everybody what a fucking idiot you are. Because I bet you Marty went on the internet and found this article elsewhere. I'll bet you he did. What do you mean we all know the tunnels in New York? Those were COVID tunnels, you idiots. Don't even get me started. There's no evidence of any of that bullshit that you fucking cunts talk. I swear to God, you guys are such haters and fucking idiots. Your anti-Semitism bubbles over. There's plenty of shit going on in Israel right now, you fucking cunts. And you're going to talk about the tunnels of New York under this one synagogue what these guys were using so they could sneak in during COVID. You're idiots. You're fucking idiots. You're listening to the wrong people. Both of you. You don't even deserve to be in my audience. Maybe this is why I can't have an audience, but you know what? With cunts like you out here, how the fuck am I supposed to expect normal people to come in? No, Marty. I'm sorry, Marty. I'm sorry. Oh, we all know the tunnels in New York too. Okay, you're saying that's what she would say, right? Yeah, they dug tunnels for fucking COVID, dude. They knew there were a bunch of people that knew those fucking tunnels were there. But that's how those guys are, dude. They gotta go pray in their synagogue. Everybody, Jews know how the Hasidic are. We know. They're psychos. And when we heard that there were tunnels, we're like, well, of course there were fucking tunnels. Those guys are fucking crazy. But what they got accused of is just because of what's going on in Gaza. It's just fucking Jew hatred. And it's unnecessary. Like I said, there's a genocide going on. Pay attention to that. Pay attention to Netanyahu and his whole fucking and the support he gets from Donald Trump and Joe Biden. Pay attention to that. You got your head up your ass if you're worried about tunnels. I don't even know why you got me off on that. She wasn't even talking about tunnels, but I'm sure she will. I'm not telling. God damn it, fucking Clara Sue talking to you. Like I said, it's like talking to a brick wall. I'm gonna answer your question exactly. What Clara Sue said was, "What makes you think the newspapers are real truth?" I just told you, Clara Sue. You can go on Google and you can find this article from multiple sources. I promise you. It's not just the AP. Articles like this don't get reported from just one agency. That's not how news works. Because if that's how it worked, then we'd all be getting fed a fucking narrative. And that's just, maybe someone like you believes that shit. But multiple sources, there's people on the ground in Gaza reporting in. There's people interviewing. I'm sure there's multiple agencies right now that are all interviewing multiple witnesses. I guarantee you, Clara's out of line. Dude, Clara never makes sense, Marty. And I'm sorry that I jumped on you, Marty, because I thought you were feeding into what she was saying. You were just saying, I know what you were saying now. You should have put ha-ha at the end of it, so I knew. Don't deny those humans sacrificing bullshit. They eat humans. Clara Sue, you're an idiot. Everyone look at what Clara Sue is putting in the chat. It's going to come up right here. Look, everyone look what Clara Sue is a fucking quack-ass bitch. Dude, she's so fucking quack-ass. And, she gets mad at me for calling her names, but you deserve it because you're fucking psycho. And I guess no one else calls you out on it because I bet you're, in real life, Clara Sue, I bet you're just a sweetheart. You got grandkids, right? You got a whole family, and they all love you, and I bet everything's great right there in real life. But, man, when you get on the internet, you become a fucking cunt monster bitch. That you totally feed into every single piece of fucking red meat that's thrown down your fucking throat. It's their dog whistles, and you're the fucking dog responding to them like an idiot. And people like me and people that watch me and get me, they look at people like you, and they just shake their fucking heads, and they're like, God, you don't have to be like that. You don't have to be so fucking dumb and ignorant. You should watch Nay 24/7 until he fucking whips you into shape, because that's exactly what you need right now. You need someone to straighten you out, and you think you're straightening me out? And that's the hypocrisy behind all of it, is that you come in here and you think you're going to teach me, when really the whole reason I'm here is to fucking help people like you. Clara Sue says evil is a real thing. Clara Sue, get the fuck off your stupid high evil horse. Or we're not talking about evil. You started talking about that because you heard some shit that was made up about baby sacrifices and drinking blood and all that shit, and you sound like a fucking idiot. So just stop. You got to let all that shit go. I'm trying to help you. God damn, you're raising children and grandchildren, aren't you? And you've got pets that depend on you. You need to be more open to being wrong to shit, because you're wrong about so much. Clara Sue, look, I'm telling you, I don't care if people are still practicing, some sort of satanic sacrifices. I'm sure there's plenty of that going on. I'm sure. I doubt that it's done by the people who you suspect of doing it, though. You're barking up the wrong fucking tree. You and your like have always been barking up the wrong tree on that, drinking the blood of babies bullshit. And I will tell you, man, those fucking Hasidic, when they give circumcisions, they fucking do weird shit. They do. They're fucked up. And they do weird shit. But they don't fucking sacrifice babies. But I will tell you, some of those Hasidic, when they're circumcising, they do weird shit. You guys, if you haven't looked into that, that's real. And you can go look that shit up. You know, if you're a mother standing by while they're trying to perform that on your baby, you're fucking guilty. You're guilty. That baby is your responsibility, moms. You know, don't put them in the hand of some fucking person who thinks that doing whatever the fuck they're going to do is designated by God. Because that is probably how that whole fucking rumor started. Because that shit is actually real. But you got to look in the Hasidim, man. They're fucked up. They're stupid. You know, they're like flat earthers. They're like the flat earthers of Judaism. You know, they're fucking psychos. And they treat their women like utter garbage. Fucking garbage. Objects for them to be satisfied by, bear their children, and shut the fuck up and never say a fucking word, and always have my food ready. And so I can go to the fucking synagogue every day and fucking study. So that I can understand the word of God better. They're psychos. They're just as psychotic as Clara Sue. You're just as psychotic, Clara Sue. You're not here for me, Clara Sue. You need to be here for yourself first. You need to get yourself straight first. Once you get your... Let me turn my lights on. Once you get yourself straightened out, then you can get other people straightened out. When I was younger, Clara Sue, I was into fucked up shit. I had to go to rehab. I was mean, you know. I was selfish, and I learned, man. People taught me, and I was exposed to, and I was a racist, and I was exposed to people who were much better than me, and I learned from them. And I said, you know, I can be like that. I can aspire to be better, and I changed, and I grew, and now I'm at the age now where you know what I want to do? I would just want to reach out and help people. And someone like you comes in here and makes it almost impossible because I devote all my attention to you and you don't deserve it because you won't listen to anything I fucking say. You're a waste of my fucking time. You know, I mean, have I convinced you of anything that I've ever told you that you disagreed with me on? One thing? Anything? Let me know. I want to know if there was actually growth or not because you've been coming here a lot. Yeah, is there anything that I've ever said where you're like, you know, Nay's right about that? Yo, let's touch. What's up, buddy? Hey, Nay, I have a genuine question. Am I wrong for ignoring any problems outside of the USA? You know, I have this issue with a lot of people when we talk about nationalism and white nationalism, and I'm judging by your avatar that that's not an issue for you. But you might be getting red-pilled. And I would just say this. People want to fly whatever flag country they're from. I want to fly a flag of the whole globe. I think we should all be helping each other, not building up armaments and hurting each other. All of the money that we spend on war and being scared of each other could be spent on beauty and making everything beautiful and amazing. And I think it's because you ignore problems outside of the USA. You just say ignore. You ignore them. I mean, I'm not asking you to address them. I'm like, bro, you won't even like watch what's going on? Like the 25,000 dead in Gaza, 10,000 dead kids, bro. I see you've got a kid. You know, do you have empathy for someone else who's got a child on the other side of the planet? Is that a good response, bro? Because I expect you to take that and do whatever you want with it. I don't expect a response out of you. But I think I could tell a lot about you just from, you know, your name, your avatar. And I think that humanity, I think that life is important to you. I would think that you would want someone on the other side of the planet to be concerned about your life. Let's say your neighboring country, let's say Mexico was big and bad, and America was weak, and Mexico had come in here and they just killed like 25,000 Americans in Texas, and Arizona. Just came in and there was nothing we could do because we were too weak and we didn't have a military or whatever. And let's say you were one of those people, or you and your family were involved in that. Would you want people on the other side of the planet to ignore your problems? And that's, like I just said, it's food for thought. I don't expect you to change how you feel about it, but I do hope that you think about what I said. Because people like Clara Sue, they have the same issue with that flag they wave. They're nationalists, and it's a problem. It's a huge problem. We don't have to solve the world's problems. We don't have to police the world's problems, but we shouldn't ignore what's going on, is my point. You don't have to pay for it. You don't have to address it, but ignoring it completely? Not even knowing what's going on? 25,000 dead in Gaza within just 90 days, bro. Yeah, 25,000 dead. Killed by bullets and rockets and tank shells and you name it. That was great. Hey, Brandon Uri, what's up, buddy? You're not helping me, Clara Sue. You see, that's the problem. You always got to say shit like that. You're such a sideways bitch. And I'll keep cursing at you as long as you deserve it. Because your little sideways comments, even though you don't have curse words, they're just as cutting and biting, you fucking sideways bitch. So fuck you, Clara Sue, you fucking sideways bitch. And if you want to understand what I meant by calling you a sideways bitch, you just said on my live stream, you just said, you just won't expand your mind. Really? Really, you stupid fucking cunt? Fuck you. I won't expand my mind. It's all I do every day on this fucking show. I learn from everyone I talk to. Like today, you know what I learned from you? That you're a stupid fucking cunt bitch. I learned that. Oh wait, I already knew that one. I've never had a problem calling you that either. As soon as you come in, I'm just waiting for you to say the wrong thing because I know you're gonna. Let's smoke to that. You wanna see me? You think we'll see me? Cheers, everyone. Even though Clara Sue's the only one talking to me in Rumble. Cheers. So this guy asked me a question. Oh, you answered me. That makes sense. No, I would not. I appreciate your response. What happened in Gaza? What happened in Gaza? What was the reason? I'll tell you what happened in Gaza, bro. We'll talk about it. This is great. Cheers. So for the last 70 plus years, Israel's been running an apartheid state. Not a country. They stole the land, they ran the indigenous off, and they claimed the land as their own. And there were people who'd been living on that land for generations. So then, they developed Israel, and they made it really nice with American dollars, right? Billions and billions and maybe trillions of dollars that we've sent to Israel over the years. And they made it really nice and resourceful, And then they cut off access to the Arabs that they segregated over into Gaza. They walled it off. And if any of those Gazans wanted to come into Israel, well, they needed a pass. Could they vote? No, they weren't allowed to vote. They were second-class citizens. Were they allowed to ride the same buses as the Israelis were? No, they had their own separate bus system. So there's a lot that you probably don't know about what's been going on within the last 70 years between Palestine and Israel, right? So then there's an incident that occurred a year ago or so. There was a mosque, and there were a bunch of people praying in the mosque because it was a holiday, and the IDF went in there, the Israeli army went in there, and they threw tear gas down and chased people out and fired weapons at them. I don't know how many people were killed in that incident, but they brutalized these people while they were praying. And then from that time on, they would go up to the fence and they would protest, and snipers would shoot them in their knees and murder them and murder women. So this has been going on, and then the Hamas, who was the voted-in representation of the Palestinians, eventually they just stopped having elections and they took over the whole Gaza, right? They've been firing missiles into Israel, and they've got this Iron Dome system, and they shoot down most of them, but every once in a while a missile will get through and kill some Israelis. And then Israel will respond by going into Gaza and killing a whole bunch of Gazans. And it's always an overreach, because it's like they're trying to punish Gaza into not supporting Hamas. Good explanation so far? Well, come October 7th, after all this brutalization, Hamas finally decided to go in and invade Israel and kidnap a whole bunch of Israelis. And they did. And murder like a whole bunch of people. And Israel knew that they were going to do it, and they sat by silently. In fact, there's reporting out there, and I don't know if these are trustworthy sources, but there's reason to believe, and I'll tell you why in a second, from people like Lee Camp who are reporting this. Supposedly on that day, when the Israeli army was counterattacking Hamas, they knew that the homes were full of Israelis, and they went ahead and fired tank shells and machine gun fired cars that they knew were Israelis to kill more Israelis, to get the world, supposedly, to get the world's sympathy because so many Jews were killed. Supposedly, and this is why it's suspect. You'd be like, dude, Israel wouldn't have killed a whole bunch of Israelis. I mean, come on, an Israeli pilot a gunner would sit there and shoot Israeli cars? Really? And then you wonder, and then you go, wait, why are they destroying all of the cars that are evidence as to what kind of fire blew them up? Why are they destroying all the cars? Right? They're getting rid of all the evidence, and if there will be no proof of it. Looks super suspect to me. So you can decide for yourself how you feel about Israel's participation, if any, in what happened on October 7th. Lee Campus and Max Blumenthal and Aaron Mate, they're all thoroughly convinced that Israel, multiplied the numbers of death by an over-response, via the Hannibal elective, this Hannibal thing that they've got, where it says that anytime an Israeli is kidnapped, you don't worry about the victim. You don't worry about the person who's been kidnapped. Like, you kill everybody. You send a bomb in there, and it's okay if you kill the hostage, because this is a deterrent for people taking more hostages in the future. Everything's a deterrent with Israel. It's a deterrent. Well, you want to know what the latest deterrent is against Hamas? Well, so Israel's response to all of that, there are about 12,000 Israelis dead. Supposedly. I'm sorry, I said 12,000. 1,200 Israelis dead. Somewhere around the number of 11 and 1,200 Israelis were killed. 100 were killed on October 7th, right? They had kidnapped like 300 or something like that, or 200 Israelis. And they're still holding like 150 of them hostage. Hamas still has these Israelis hostage, right? The response was to go into Gaza. Israel went into Gaza, and they fired missiles, and they fired missiles, and they fired missiles, and they fired missiles, and they blew up apartments, and they blew up neighborhoods, and they blew up schools, and they blew up hospitals, and they blew up everything. Everything was on limits. Everything. And they destroyed. Not only that, They ran the people out. They murdered a bunch of people, right? With these rocket launches, with these rocket attacks. They told the people, go here, go to northern Gaza, where that's a safe zone. And they send them into certain places, and then they send missiles to where all the people are. Yeah. Nice, huh? So because of this psychotic genocidal behavior from the Israelis, they've now murdered 25,000 Palestinians as a response to the 1,200 Israelis who were killed. And with Biden and the UK's and everyone else's blessing who supports Israel. And we just pulled up an article that said the UN court ordered Israel to prevent genocide in Gaza, but not to ceasefire. The UN voted that it was risking genocide. And I say, bullshit, it already is a genocide. It's a proven genocide. It fulfills all of the, Israel has a doctrine of what a genocide is. It's got 10 or 11, something like that, maybe 12 different categories, right? You only have to fulfill one category for it to be a genocide. That's what Israel says, right? Well, guess what? Their genocide fulfills all the categories, every single one. And it's their determination of what a genocide is. So it's by Israel's own definition, literally a genocide. And people act like it isn't. So that's what's up. I hope that answered your question. That's what's going on in Gaza, and that's why there's 25,000 dead, 10,000 of them children, and a lot of them women and innocent people, innocent men that were never involved with Hamas, dead. And 25,000 doesn't cover the wounded, because I don't even know what the amount of wounded people in Gaza are. I don't know if they report that. Here, let me see. So I'll read the article to you, right? How far did we get into it? No, we didn't get into it at all. I'll just read you the whole thing. This is a photograph, and in the photograph it says, injured people received treatment Thursday in Gaza City Shifa Hospital, followed by reported Israeli attack on a crowd of Palestinians waiting for humanitarian aid. It says, Israeli soldiers shot at crowd waiting for aid, witnesses say. And then, this is from the Associated Press. It's got 3 different authors, and their names are listed, so you can inspect. If you think this is fake news, you can go check out each one of those authors right there, and you can go look at their previous works and judge for yourself if you feel like those people are honest reporters or not. Okay? That's some good referencing on your part if you don't believe this. You made a Rumble account just now to respond. Thank you for another response and helping me understand. Right on. Absolutely. Bro, it's my pleasure. It's my pleasure. All right, let's keep going. Gaza Strip, Gaza Health Ministry, and witnesses said Israeli troops opened fire as a crowd of Palestinians gathered for humanitarian aid in Gaza City on Thursday, killing at least 20 and wounding dozens. The Israeli military said it was looking into the reports. The Associated Press could not independently confirm the details of what happened. Witnesses and health officials said the shooting took place at a roundabout on Gaza City's southern edge where a large crowd had gathered for distribution of food. Footage posted online and confirmed to have been taken on the main road near the roundabout showed hundreds of people fleeing, some carrying boxes of aid as fire rang out in the background. Men loaded wounded Palestinians onto horse and donkey carts that took off, charging down the avenue. Imagine this. Imagine that you're so hungry and you're so desperate that even with somebody shooting and killing people around you, you hold on to that food as you run away, even though it slows you down. Because that's how desperate these people are. That's the image painted here. That's why this is not on the front page. page 11, guys, on the bottom, under a fake headline. Men loaded wounded Palestinians onto horse and donkey carts that took off charging down the avenue. At Shifa Hospital, where casualties were treated, Mohammed Al-Rafi lay on the floor, his bloodied leg bandaged as medics worked on other wounded around them. He said Israeli troops fired into the crowd. We were going to get flour. Young people were martyred and other young people were injured, he said. Health Ministry spokesperson Ashraf Al-Qidra said 20 people were killed and 150 others wounded by the shooting. 150 wounded, guys. A number of aid agencies distribute food and other supplies in Gaza. It was not immediately known which one was operating in the area at the time of the incident. So they don't know, I guess, who was supplying the food at that. The UN Refugee Agency for Palestinian Refugees, UNRWA, and the UN World Food Program both said they were not involved. Israeli troops and tanks pushed into Gaza City shortly after the ground invasion began in October. Now, this is just background. They do this in articles. And this is not looking like it's going to report on anything else timely, but we'll go through it because there's a lot left. Right. This is all other news now, okay? So the article has ended. Now here's the fluff. Are you ready? The military says it has largely dismantled Hamas in northern Gaza, but is still facing pockets of resistance, and large swaths of Gaza City or surrounding areas have been reduced to rubble by Israeli bombardment. The UN has said it has been struggling to deliver aid to the north amid Israeli restrictions and continued fighting. Several 100,000 people are believed to remain in the north after most of the population fled south. UN officials say a quarter of Gaza's population of 2.3 million are facing starvation. That's a quarter of 2.3 million. So a quarter of 2.3 million would be half a million. Yeah, it was more than 500,000 people are facing starvation. For weeks, heavy fighting has raged as Israeli troops push into the southern city of Khan Yunis and in a cluster of built-up refugee camps in central Gaza that date back to the 1948 war surrounding Israel's creation. The death toll from a strike on a crowded UN shelter in Khan Yunis on Wednesday has risen to 12, with over 75 wounded, according to Thomas White, a senior official with UNRWA. The Israeli military said its troops were engaging in close urban combat with Hamas fighters in neighborhoods of Khan Yunis, calling in airstrikes and attack helicopters to hit militants spotted with rocket-propelled grenades and other weapons. And I just saw a video, and I just told you this yesterday, of a Hamas fighter firing a rocket-propelled grenade through a wall and killing 3 or 4 people, including the cameraman, in an instant. I just saw that video on Twitter. Until you see what these things do, you know, I'd never even imagined that this thing would go right through a wall like this and make it through the wall, explode on its way through the wall, and just fire outward like, you know, if somebody ever engineered something to work good, that's scary, you know? So whoever engineered that wanted to just kill as many people as they could on the other side of a wall, you know? Oh, Clara Sue's a fucking attention whore, man. Totally. Totally, bro. Oh my god. There's more about this in here. Where did I see that? Yeah, right here. On the very last page, guys. Rifts within Israel resurface over war in Gaza. You know? Election calls grow as conflict drags on. Public's mood shifts. Wow. You know, if the Israeli public's mood has shifted, I think it's time for Americans to get on board. Right? If the people living there are having a change of heart, hey guys, hey Americans supporting the genocide, hey, it's time. It's time. Here, let me put it up on the screen so everyone can see it. Public's mood shifts. That's all you have to see.